Here's another example of simplifying an expression with trigonometric ratios in it. In this example, notice that there are two terms. Both terms have a sine theta, so I can take that out as a common factor. That leaves 1 plus cotangent squared theta. Now notice, anytime you see a 1 and a squared trig ratio, you should think Pythagorean identity. So if we go back here, I see that 1 plus cotangent squared x is actually equal to cosecant squared x. So I'm going to replace that with cosecant squared x. So I get sine theta times cosecant squared theta. And now that I've simplified that, the only thing really that I can do is to rewrite cosecant in terms of sine or cosine. And I know that cosecant is 1 over sine, so this would be 1 over sine squared theta. And then I can simplify these. This is sine squared, this is sine, so I'm just left with 1 over sine theta, which is cosecant theta. So I've taken this expression and simplified it significantly to just cosecant theta. One last example. This is a physics expression. It has to do with the intensity of light when it passes through polarized lenses, two polarized lenses to be specific. And so the first thing we have to do is simplify this formula. I notice again that there's an I0, this is the initial intensity, and so I'm going to take that out as a common factor. So I get I0 times 1 minus 1 over cosecant squared theta. And then I'm going to rewrite this as 1 minus sine squared theta. And once again, I have a 1 and a squared trig function. So if I look at the Pythagorean identity that involves sine, I know that sine squared theta plus cos squared theta equals 1. If I subtract sine squared from both sides, I get cos squared theta equals 1 minus sine squared theta. So I can take this and replace it with cos squared theta. So this equals I0 times cos squared theta, and this is a much simpler formula. Now I can use that formula to evaluate the intensity of the light if the angle is 30 degrees. So I can simplify this further. Cos of theta, so this is cos squared of 30 degrees. If I quickly draw a 30, 60, 90 triangle, I realize that cos of 30 degrees is root 3 over 2. So this is I theta times root 3 over 2 squared, because it's cos squared of 30 degrees. So that means cosine of 30 degrees squared. And then root 3 squared is 3, 2 squared is 4, and so when the angle equals 30 degrees, this expression simplifies to I equals 3/4 I0. And there's your homework.